So I go through walkthrough and I kind of do it, and we go in like team periods, and I'm not rewriting word for nothing. And he was like, "Hey, Five, I can't curse on here, right?"
I can bleep you if you want me to.
Okay. He was yeah, because it's crazy.
Welcome to Beat Everyone, AL.com's Alabama football podcast. I am Matt Scalisi, in for Ben Flanagan in today's episode. It's always such a huge honor for us anytime we get to talk to somebody who's ever actually worn the crimson and white, especially part of the golden era of Alabama football. He was our guest today, was selected to play in the Under Armour All-America game. He was part of the top-ranked 2016 recruiting class. He was a national champion in 2018 and part of some of Nick Saban's best teams ever before playing in the NFL for several years. He's now a member of the Birmingham Stallions in the UFL. He's from Kentwood, Louisiana. Shyheim Carter, welcome to the show.
Appreciate you for having me. Nice introduction.
Yeah, thanks, man. Listen, so Shyheim, you joined the Stallions in January. This team is playing for a fourth straight championship and a second straight UFL title. So why has this team been able to be so dominant in this league now that you've been a part of it for a little while?
Just the culture in the building, the culture from the coaches, the players, and then just how we go about things. It's a professionalism from everybody in the building. We come to work every day, and it's just really the culture, honestly.
And you definitely would know a winning culture to be around one for sure, because you were part of some incredible teams. Really, you were at Alabama like when it was as good as it could get for that program. And I mentioned you being a part of that 2016 recruiting class. I'm going to list some names that were in that class with you: Mac Wilson, Terrell Lewis, Jonah Williams, Quinnen Williams, Trevon Diggs, Josh Jacobs, Jalen Hurts. I mean, what a class, man. Can you talk about that group and kind of the process of that class being put together and how much, I guess, when did you know that was going to be, something you wanted to do, that you wanted to be a part of that class and come to Alabama?
Well, if you look back at it, Bama offered me like my freshman, sophomore year of high school, and I was the first one in that class to commit. But looking back at it, man, all those names you named, great group of guys. They came to work every day. And when we came in, didn't want to be that Saban team that didn't win a national championship. So wanted to keep that going. But also we just wanted to gel as well as we did on the field, off the field. So those guys that you named, my classmates, man, we spent a lot of time just off the field, just bonding and whether if it was just having little cookouts, just getting together, going to the bowling alley or whatnot, just always bonding. So like just been around those guys for several years, and then they always came to work on the field. That's what even made it better. And then talk a little noise off the field after practice or whatnot. But just having those guys around, that definitely helped me coming from a small town, Kentwood, Louisiana, just to be around a bunch of guys that all had the same end goal.
Yeah, you were a part of a real pipeline that Saban had going in Louisiana. I mean, he got more than his fair share of big time guys out of that state, despite the fact that, I mean, LSU was no slouch at the time. Was that a big was it a big deal for you to leave the state and go away from LSU?
I'm gonna leave it at this. I wanted to win.
Enough said.
So, but nah, though.
Enough said.
Yeah, nah. It's no bad blood between me and the other school. Me and that other school. It's just like I said, I just wanted to win. Being coached by the best to ever coach again college football, man, it was just a blessing. Never took it for granted. And he didn't only teach and coach me well in football, but just a person off the field, man off the field. Whether if it was just being a better overall man, or being a better overall human being, being a better father to my kids, being a better son to my mother, all those type of things. So.
So
he definitely helped in a tremendous way.
yeah, absolutely. So that 2016 class, a lot of you guys came in and played as true freshmen, and in particular, Jalen Hurts ends up
Mhm.
winning the job as a true freshman, which is very rare for a quarterback at Alabama. Do you
Yeah,
remember
true.
that sort of quarterback battle? I mean, obviously that's going on at Alabama right now. Do you remember that
Yeah.
offseason heading into the year? And I mean, I believe Jalen actually didn't start the first game, but he certainly wins the job pretty quickly. What do you remember about
Yeah.
that battle?
From that battle, Jay Hurst, he came in. He was an early enrollee that year. I wasn't, so I can't speak for much from when I wasn't there. But when I got there, like you say, it was a quarterback competition. Obviously, he didn't win the job at first, but going into that, when we played USC our freshman year, he checked into the game, and the rest was history. Honestly, so from then forward, he was QB1 then. So yeah, wasn't really much to remember, honestly.
Well, one thing about that freshman year for you, you
Mhm.
were a part of a defense that was truly historic, an unbelievable defense. They had
Yeah.
15 non-offensive touchdowns that season. I can't imagine we will ever see something like that again in college
Yeah,
football.
that's
What?
probably one of the best defense ever in college football. If not, arguably like top three for sure. Top three for sure. Arguably the best.
Yeah, tell me
Um,
about that. I mean, why was that group so good generally, and also, I mean, in particular, like why were y'all so great at getting the ball, getting your hands on the ball, and scoring so much?
just because the standard was always the standard at Alabama. Saban, he coached it, he taught it. We just had to go out and execute it. And like we always harped on getting the ball. Well, once we get the ball, going to score with the ball. We get a fumble or interception or something, run it down the numbers. The team know that. So anytime you get the ball in your hands on defense, run down the numbers, and you're gonna have a convoy of guys just leading you. But yeah, man. Speaking of that team, also another thing too was we just had a bunch of male alpha, bunch of boy dogs is what I like to call them on defense that year, man. With Reuben Foster, Ryan Anderson, Tim Williams, Sean Dion Hamilton, Ronnie Harrison, Eddie Jack. I can go on and on. But just having those guys that that been there and that knew what the Bama style was about, setting the standard, even raising the standard at times. Uh, just having guys like that on the team that help that make you want to be better, make you want to be great.
And you talked about Coach Saban a minute ago and how much he meant to you. He, I definitely remember him mentioning you a lot, talking about you as a high football IQ guy, a guy that had a lot of leadership qualities. What was your can you talk a little bit more about your relationship with him between player and coach? And what was it like for you being coached by him, and kind of what was your relationship, I guess, like with him when you were at Alabama?
Yeah. People don't know that I've been going to Bama camps since I was probably like ninth ninth grade in high school, freshman in high school. So me and Saban always had a relationship, and it wasn't until he offered me and I committed, and our relationship got stronger. I was, like I said earlier, I was the first guy to commit in the 2016 class. Me and his relationship got stronger, and once I got there, wanting to learn the defense and wanting to sit down and either meet with him or other coaches, me and his relationship became stronger as well. And just me just being a leader, and me of one of those teams, and me just being the player I am or the person I am, that helped gel that relationship as well. But he, like I say, man, he taught me a lot, and just not only just about football. Just like I say earlier, just being a better person overall, treating people right, doing the right thing all the time, when nobody's looking, man. So like, just I'm forever grateful for Saban for sure. Definitely like a father figure to me for sure.
I
So
mean, there's for sure some players who maybe clash with him a little bit personality wise. Do you think maybe
I clashed with him. I
you
clashed
did?
with him once or twice, yeah,
what?
like 2 or 3 times,
But
yeah,
you
for
but
sure,
you did
yeah.
get it. You got the advantage you had, like you said, like you kind of got to know what where his boundaries are, like
Hmm.
what would piss him off, what he liked,
Yeah,
because you were going to his camp so early on.
yeah.
Yeah. So you were on truly some incredible teams, Shyheim, and one of the things that when I look at 2017 and 18 that are so amazing about those teams, among other things, they had maybe the best collection of wide receivers that we've ever seen at one time on a college football team. We're talking about Jerry Jeudy and Henry Ruggs and Jalen Waddle and Devontae Smith, and you're going up against these guys in practice all
every
the
day.
time. So I would love to hear what that was like and how much what you got out of that experience, out of going up against these guys who were just I mean, all of them now could be a wide receiver one in the NFL.
Yeah, man, just going up against those guys, man, it was great times. I for sure won some battles, and they won some battles also. But just going up against those guys every day in practice, man, it made me better. Made me a better player. Made me understand the game a little bit more. Versus on what they used to do to us. And honestly, man, it made the games real easy on Saturdays. I'm serious. It made the games a hell of a lot easier. Guarding those guys every day in practice, and then on Saturdays, putting it all together. And the games, it was just 100,000 fans in the stands. That was the only difference. The games was easier, honestly. So, just going against those guys, it definitely paid off because they always came to work each and every day, and so did I. So that definitely paid off for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. I can only imagine the
And
competition.
man, shout out to those guys, and shout out to those guys too, as well, for still doing their thing as well. So
Yeah, you were with a great group of guys in the secondary too at
yeah.
the time, and a lot of those guys are still playing professionally as well.
Hmm.
Anybody from your group from your time in the secondary that was kind of a mentor to you, or that you sort of really looked up to, I guess, early on?
Yeah, for sure. Just keep it real for sure. Levi Wallace. He was that was my guy. He came from being a walk on when I first got there, and he honestly like kind of taught me what to do at corner. I was playing multiple positions, and he was kind of teaching me like the corner spot or whatever. And once I learned corner, I was like, all right, it makes more sense on what I have to do at this position at nickel and at safety. So him just teaching me that, him just kind of being that mentor for me in that space, and just been and it's been like a lifelong friend. I still talk to him to this day. So yeah, man, Levi Wallace, big shout out to Levi too, for always being there by my side for sure.
I want to ask you about a few specific games from your
Hmm.
time there. In particular, I want to ask you about the two Georgia games, 2017 and 2018. So you had the national championship game, you had the SEC championship game, two unbelievable finishes to those games, and
Yeah.
you guys really got you got one up on Georgia in both of them. what what do you remember about those two games in particular, because they just felt so huge at the time, and you're playing
Mhm.
against one of the few times that you guys are playing against a team that has sort of comparable talent to what you guys had
Yeah.
on your roster. Anything you remember or stick out about those two games in particular?
Um, Honestly, man, we knew that with them having Kirby as the head coach over there, they was same as us, pretty much same offense, same defense style, everything, and it really came down to who prepared the most, who really wanted it the most, and those type of things. And I think we just like, especially at the first year in the championship, they definitely for sure had us beat, but we just wanted them more, and to Tay touchdown to end it all. So yeah, and then the next year it was same as going up against Georgia again. They, we know them, they know us. Mano y mano, may the best man win. And so we put it out twice, 2 years back to back. Man, so fortunate for that. Thank God for that, man. Yeah, it was that was a good time. Those was a good time.
What were the vibes like when you guys are getting ready to play Georgia? Because I mean, I know there's for everybody we talk to, there's some teams that just kind of like a different. I mean, you're always trying to be competitive, but there's a few teams that some guys will say, I just didn't like those guys. I didn't. I had it out for them. But what was kind of the vibe between you guys and Georgia?
Um, I mean, we know they wanted to be us. So it was always like, let's show them they're not us. Um, and there's no not to, Georgia, my boys from Georgia, nothing like that. But we like everybody want to be Bama, but nobody's Bama besides Bama. But we knew they wanted to be us. And like I say, man, we just had to make sure like we did what we needed to do to prepare for those games and to come out on top to be victorious. But yeah, man, like the vibes were immaculate in the locker room. Hype all week. Just ready to get out there and play that game because we know every like the world will be watching. The stadium will be packed, be filled stands, fans yelling, and you just going out there just getting the job done.
Yeah, and one other this is a less fun memory, but I'm just so curious and I want to ask you about that Clemson game at the end of 2018 cuz you
Mhm.
guys were crushing everybody you played all year. And you get to that Clemson game and it's just for so many of us that were watching, it's like this doesn't make any sense. Do you have any thoughts on what went down? What happened in that game?
I'm the type of person that don't give excuses. They just beat us. Yeah, they just beat us. Like I said, I'm not the person that give any excuses. Um, if you ask somebody else, they may can give you a better answer. But honestly, they just beat us. Yeah, I don't really have much for that
Good.
one.
You know what? I feel like Saban would appreciate that answer, Shaheem.
Yeah,
All right,
yeah.
I got a couple of quick ones for you to wrap us up here.
Mhm.
What SEC team did you hate the most when you were in college?
That other
The
school.
other school, as that we've already mentioned. Uh,
Yeah,
who was your best friend on the team?
I had a couple, honestly. Had a couple. Um, Too many people really don't know this, but me and Devontae is super tight. Like we super tight. But outside of him, for sure, Anthony Jennings and Terrell Lewis. Terrell, I call him T Hall because his name was Terrell Hall at
That's
first, but
right.
he changed his last name to Lewis. So T. Lou and Anthony, those two were my guys for sure, along with some other guys as well. But me and those two was always around, and then me and Devontae, we was basically used to stay together until we split up and started doing our own thing.
Well, we talked about Devontae and those receivers. Who was the toughest guy to compete against in practice?
They all was different. They all was
Sure.
different. Yeah, they all was different. They all had something. They all did something that the other one did good, but this person may did this a little better than the other person. But they all was different. When you go out in Judy, you know that you getting all the nice route. You getting all the whole route tree is up, and you got to play your best man coverage. With Waddle, same thing, and he's speedy and quick. With Ruggs, he's just fast.
Hmm.
And going to catch the ball, make contested catches, and once he get the ball in his hands, I mean, it's pretty much over. And Devontae, he was just smooth with everything. Whether if it was from running routes, catching the ball, block, whatever it is. Yeah, he was on everything. But to answer your question, Devontae, he was probably like the more overall, like because he had everything. He can do everything.
Sure.
Not saying that those other guys couldn't or didn't want to do everything, but he was that guy for us at least then at Bama that was doing everything at his size as well.
What was the worst you ever got chewed out by Saban?
Man, a couple times honestly, probably like my freshman year, so I'll give you a little story. So he installed cover two this one day, and mind you, I didn't start playing defense like real defense until I got to college. So it was kind of like a learning curve for me a little bit. So I get there and we install cover two, and I'm playing a nickel, and he was like, he wants you to shuffle to 10 yards and reroute the nickel. I mean, reroute the slot receiver. Basically, just shove him out the
Hmm.
seam, right? So I used to be trash at rerouting. And the first time he was like, all right, you know what I'm saying? You got to do a little better. He was coaching me up on it or whatnot. So I go through walkthrough and I kind of do it, and we go in like team periods, and I'm not rerouting worth for nothing. And he was like, "Hey, Five, I can't curse on here, right?
I can bleep you if you want me to.
Okay." He was like, yeah, because it's crazy. He was like, "Hey, Five, you have to reroute the guy. If you don't reroute the guy, he's just gonna run down the middle of the field." And he just like go crazy and throw his hat everywhere and everything. So, and it's way more from where that come from. But that was just one of the few times that I got cursed out by Saban for sure.
That's a great story. I'm glad
Yeah.
you went in on it with us.
Yeah.
What's your favorite play of your career?
Favorite play for my career. Probably one of my last plays. Last college game. Called my pick against Michigan and went through the ball to my mom in the stands. That was probably like my favorite play.
That's great. What a great way to go out.
Yeah.
Favorite place to eat in Tuscaloosa?
Favorite place to eat in Tuscaloosa? Man, you put me on the spot. I hadn't been in Tuscaloosa, honestly, man.
Well, this would be like
probably
when
since,
you were there. When you were in school, what was your favorite place to eat?
Man, probably Chuck's.
Good answer.
Can't go wrong with
Good answer.
Can't go wrong with Chuck's.
Yeah.
Can't go wrong with Chuck's.
All right, last one. I need your Mount Rushmore of Alabama DBs.
Man, don't do me that. Don't do me that. Please don't do me that. Man, Mount Rushmore of DBs, not including myself.
You could put yourself if you think Shyheim Carter should be on there.
Honestly, I wouldn't really put myself because of the statistics doesn't say Shyheim Carter is Mount Rushmore. But if you go back and look, and if you know football, then you know. But Mount Rushmore, all-time Alabama?
Sure. Yeah, anybody that put on the Alabama uniform.
Man. Langram? Can't go wrong with Langram. Harper, for sure. Roman Harper, for sure. Man, I would have to say it's tough, honestly, man. It's really tough.
Two old school picks already, relative to the pre-Saban anyway.
Yeah, not for sure. Those guys are legends, honestly, man. Not knocking nobody from from the Saban era or whatnot, but those guys are legends for sure, man. And it's tough the last two, man, because I can go a lot of people, man. I can go Drake Kirkpatrick, D Milliner. I can go Minka. I can go Marlon. Man, it's just a lot, I can go Javier Arenas. I can go Kareem Jackson. It's just a lot, man. So that's why I was saying, just don't do me that. Don't do me that. It's a lot.
So that you got a like 6-way tie for the last two spots, but those first two, I like the throwback picks there.
Yeah, no, for sure. You can't go wrong with the throwback picks. Those guys set the standard. Pre-Saban. And then once Saban got there, the standard was the standard. It wasn't no lowering for nobody. Don't care who you were, how you felt about anything. He wasn't lowering the standard for nobody. That's why he had on the wall in writing in big letters, or he always used to saying in interviews or whatnot, the standard is the standard. So, and Bama wasn't for everybody. The people that stuck it out at Bama and did their time at Bama and got out of there, you can ask them. And Bama ain't for everybody. Everybody that came to Bama didn't stay at Bama. So, and no knocks to those guys, but Bama just ain't for everybody, man. So yeah.
Well, he certainly kept the standard and in a lot of ways set new standards when he was at Alabama, a national champion with the Crimson Tide, now with the Birmingham Stallions. Go check them out live if you're in the Birmingham area. They're playing over at in the downtown stadium there. Shyheim Carter, thanks for doing this, and best of luck to you for the rest of this season.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you.